Hello, this is Dr. Garrett Castleberry, Program Director for Communication, Media, and Ethics here at Mid-America Christian University. I am here with a brief announcement, and this announcement pertains to Assignment 2 for Week 1 of COM 2113, Media Culture and Social Influence. And Media Culture and Social Influence is one of our 2000 level classes, meaning that while all of our classes are designed in an asynchronous fashion, you can jump in and out of a 2000, 3000, 4000 level class. The 2000 level courses are built with an introductory capacity in mind. Okay? And this means we are attempting to equip some basic skills in each of those courses so that they will serve as a foundation to many of the other projects we work on in the 3000 level, the 4000 level, and beyond, right? In future situations, degrees, professional positions, and likewise. The purpose of this quick video is to provide a little bit of feedback on Assignment 2. Assignment 2 is all about active note-taking, or another term we use to describe this is field notes. All right, so you can think about field notes as the kind of raw materials that you gather in any given situation, the way you collect your thoughts in an actual physical manner, okay? And so when you work through course readings, any class really, but especially in our comm major, all of our readings funnel toward later projects. All right, these could be projects in the present week, future week, maybe even future courses, right? Or in relationship with future courses or our long-term goals. So keep that in mind. And for that reason, and also anticipating the kinds of professional positions many of you will be training to enter, we want to also work on the level of detail and depth in our note-taking, okay? So field notes is a great way to think about how we gather our thoughts on a case-by-case basis, right? And of course, it depends, oftentimes it depends on the situation, on the time, what you have near you, what is the assignment right in front of me, but we can start to think about good field notes, moving those to great field notes, and so on. So a couple of examples. Week 1 is all about you demonstrating what does your current note-taking habit look like. Are you a minimalist note taker, meaning you take few to no notes, less helpful, FYI, or do you take a lot of notes, right? Are you a rigorous note taker? Do you like to star, mark, or add thoughts to materials you come across? So here I'm going to demonstrate, demo time, 3 different ways you might be already or could adopt as a method of taking notes or field notes, all right? So something typically not covered in an average class. So look at us breaking new ground in the Communication, Media, and Ethics major here at MACU. I'm gonna take this book, for example. Here we go, grab the random book, Popular Culture, 2nd edition by Marcel Danisi. And we will use the 3rd edition in a few of our classes in communication, but I'm going to take a look at how sometimes I take notes. All right, so I'm going to pull up average page. What it covers, what's going on doesn't matter so much as let's look at how we're breaking this material down. All right, so using underlining materials, right? Highlighting materials, maybe even using multiple colors of highlighters or pens, even have the old circle star on extra important information, and maybe it's important at the time and it won't be later, or vice versa, right? You find future uses, you never know. But after you read something the first time could be the hardest time to read anything. And then when you go back through it, especially if you've taken notes along the way, it becomes easier to not only retrieve data, but also absorb it. All right, so this is a learning process. This gets us shifting from passive nature of listening or reading or consuming texts to more of an active role, all right, where we're participating in that learning activity. So let me flip another random page, right? La da 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 da. Here's another example. We've got two different kinds of highlighting going on, you know, and maybe I'm being strategic, okay? So looks like key terms, theoretical terms are one color, and then maybe like a scholar or the title of a book is this other color, and this underlined highlight is in conjunction with the main highlighting, right? So there's no one pattern to note-taking, but active note-taking is a good skill we can work on, and we can always be improving. And you know what? The reason these words don't go all the way to the edge of a page is because you can write on it. You can make little notes right here on the edge of the page. Give yourself a helpful reminder, things you can thumb back across. So that's one thing. Maybe you take a screen cap with your phone, camera on your phone, upload, show how you're note taking in the book you're reading, one of our several books, or maybe that traditional classical kind of note taker. All right, and so your notes may look like this. Maybe you've got some little doodles. That's okay sometimes. Don't let people tell you otherwise, right? But for example, I was in some training the other day, and here's some handwritten notes, right? Didn't want to seem like I wasn't paying attention. Didn't want to fall into the temptation of getting on the internet, so I took notes. I took notes during those meetings. Look at that. Never too old to take some hand notes, although it's a little bit of a lost art now, right? But that said, sometimes it's all about expediency, especially in the fast track context. So, final example, another way we can take notes is typing notes, all right? Here's an example. I don't know how well this will translate, but this is a file I looked for. Lecture notes, reading outlines is what I titled this file. You can title your file anything, but title it in a place, in a way that you can find it later, right? So in this example, we have, I'll try to get it to show up there. At the top, I've got title of the book that I was looking at the time for maybe that lecture topic, or just interested in that content. Jason Mittell, 2010, Television American Culture, New York, Oxford University Press. So I've got the citation for the work up there at the top. All right, I wrote it out. Title of the book and its information. And then I come down here, and here's some stuff I was interested in. Chapter 4, and I include maybe key terms that I was flowing, some key terms here with the page numbers, so it's going to be easy to retrieve that information later. Also, I'm thinking about, hey, whether I'm making a PowerPoint down the line, or maybe I'm writing a paper, because the course we look at this book in, we write a pretty significant essay analysis. And so when I'm interested in content, when I'm finding a key term that strikes me, why don't I go ahead and type it out? And so what I've got here is a running archive of some interesting content, all right? And so maybe I come back to that later, and then when I'm writing a paper and I want to drop in a quotation, a real juicy one, right? We're not talking about filler. We're not just putting something in there to take up space, but I want to insert a quotation because it adds depth to the conversation I'm having in my writing, okay? And so when you think about that, you could be by typing the parts you like out in advance, assuming you have the time, of course. You are setting yourself up for having to perform less multitasking during the writing phase, during the drafting phase of assignments. So, quick recap and review. Those are 3 examples of taking notes or performing a field notes style of information gathering. We looked at a book and how you can write in and mark up your books. We want you to mark them up, right? I want you to get messy with those books, buy them, own them. That's what they're for. That's a process of learning that's occurring at an intimate level, right? You alone with the text. The second example we looked at, handwritten notes, right? Just like we've been doing since early in school. Although I keep hearing about more and more students at younger and younger ages getting notebooks and tablets and things like that. So, yay them. And then finally, digital note taking, right? That's a skill we can work on and hopefully master as well. Okay, so we thank you for listening to this video tutorial on field notes and note taking, and we'll look forward to observing the notes that you record and share for Communication 2113, Media Culture and Social Influence. Thank you.